Hi, welcome back to the Escape Room Scholar. I'm Rob, and today we'll be talking about how we actually present the narrative of our escape room in the classroom. Well, first off, why a narrative? The narrative's one of those pieces of magic that transforms an escape room from just a whole series of disconnected problem-solving tasks into a cohesive game, and a game that the participants need to work together to solve. This improves intrinsic motivation and provides some sort of a context and really helps sell the game to the participants. Well, what theme should you choose then? Well, it's really up to you and what you can integrate in well with all your puzzles and what props you have and other things like that. But that's for another video. In this video, we'll focus on how we actually present that narrative and engage that narrative with our learners. There are a few different options available to us based on things like our budget, how much time we have, what sort of technology that we have available to us, and our acting skills. So let me go through a few different methods which you might wish to experiment with. Now, the most basic method is some written text. It's low tech, easy to write, and one that I've used many times. The way I'd normally have is some sort of written text, about half a page of text, which provides a bit of a background and context, sets the scene for the escapees, and provides a moment of tension. Like, why do they need to escape? And why is there time pressure? And what are the ground rules behind it? Now, normally what I do is read this narrative out at the start of the escape room in a rather expressive manner. That way everyone starts with the same sort of experience and helps really set the scene. Let me give you an example. The year is 2065. And you are part of the key command crew on the space cruiser Nebula 1. After 3 months of intense hyperdrive travel, you're just performing the final docking maneuvers into the space station Enoch Alpha. You press the button to open the airlock and board the station, but nothing happens. Seconds later, a message pops up on your screen. Greetings, traveler. I actually can't do that voice for the whole thing. So, due to increased attacks from space pirates, we've recently implemented a new boarding procedure. We need to verify your identity as graduates of the Intergalactic Training Academy. We'll test you across some fundamental areas of gearing, electronics and cryptography, which no space pirate has yet been able to master. If you can solve these puzzles, we'll let you board. If not, we hope you enjoy deep space. You only have 40 minutes, and just to jog your memory, we'll provide a clue every 5 minutes, in case you get stuck. You can only complete the puzzles one at a time. The first will be beamed down to you now as envelope number 1. Now, often within my escape rooms, I also include some small narratives within each of the puzzles, inside the envelopes. And that way the narrative isn't lost and disconnected from the puzzles. It helps keep weaving them together. Now, those small narratives, just a couple of sentences, I get the groups to read themselves because they're all going to be solving the puzzles at slightly different times. Now, whatever bookend method I use, whether it be video or acting or the written puzzle, I typically keep on including these smaller sub-narratives along the way to keep things moving. Now, one way to go beyond that simple written text is to have a bit of acting flair. Now, you probably need a few props, maybe a uniform or something like that, and some relevant elements to increase the realism here. Now, that approach might not be for everyone, but the students that I've acted for have really enjoyed it. And there's been a few jokes about getting an Oscar, although I haven't received anything in my inbox yet. This acting approach adds an extra sense, the visual sense, along with the auditory, but it may detract a little if the acting's pretty poor. The one recent acting escape room I performed was for a cybersecurity escape room where I was the head of security at Brain Enterprises. I was giving a tech briefing, and towards the end, I was shot with a tranquilizer. I gave a whole lot of demos and things before I got shot, and that was the climax moment that started off the reason to actually escape because there was a mole in the organization. This kind of slowly added the context and then built the tension right at the end. And the students started the escape room quickly, and then I took off my security jacket and took off my hat and resumed my role as the regular professor that was running the escape room. If your colleagues or you might have an interest or flair for the dramatic, this might be a fun way to integrate escape rooms in your classroom and present that narrative. The third technique is you could create some introductory videos. They could be maybe filmed, or an animation, or maybe a combination of these, something similar to that. You might take some stock video image from online. I use Motion Array for some of this. And It has a bit more of a high-tech approach to it, probably involves some practice in using video editing software. I use DaVinci Resolve these days, which is free and powerful, but it has a bit of a learning curve. Let me show you one of the videos that I've done, which is based on that previous one where I get shot at the end with a tranquilizer. And I've taken out some of the parts where there's some explicit teaching to make it a fair bit faster so that it doesn't take a long time to watch the video. Hi and welcome to Brain Enterprises. We're glad as new consultants that you've joined us now. Now, as you already know, that Brain Enterprises is the premier producer of superhero tech in the universe. My name is Edward von Lichtenstein and I'm head of security, and I've come to give you the security briefing because as you can imagine, the sort of tech that we've got and the information that we hold, if it falls into the wrong hands, it can be dire. So security is paramount within our organisation. Now, one thing I should make clear is security isn't just my responsibility as head of security or the IT department's responsibility. Security and cybersecurity is everyone's responsibility within our organisation, from the janitor to the CEO, because anyone can make these cybersecurity mistakes and cause information or data or intrusions into our system. For other files, it might be things like the company that owned the software or who the person was that actually saved them or when they were last saved. Hang on a sec, what's going on? What? It's just a tranquilizer, it's okay. It's not the first time this has happened to me. But he's got my keys. You need to work out who that was, what he's doing is locked us in as well, and work out who he is before our secrets leave Brain Enterprises. Fourthly, well, there's different modalities that you could use with video. You could be using augmented reality or virtual reality or 360-degree videos. Now, I haven't used these in an escape room yet, that is, but I'm always ready to try something new. Well, that's all for now. Happy escaping, and I hope escape rooms are coming to a classroom near you soon.